Hey everyone, I'm Ultima456, you're the Ultimates, and welcome to episode 65 of Let's Platinum Final Fantasy VII. Alright, before we head down this staircase, I'm going to change one last little thing on my materia. I'm just going to take off Kate Sith's exit spell here, or exit materia, and I'm going to put the earth materia on. I know it's already maxed out pretty much apart from mastering it, but you probably want to do that. Alright, let's walk down here. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, it's Aerith. We found her. Aerith? Cloud's telling them to wait. Alright, so I believe you have to kind of like press the left button on the D-pad in order for Cloud to jump from pedestal to pedestal. And now we make it to this part. Alright. Uh-oh. What's going on? Something happened to Cloud there. The music changed. Aerith. What are you doing, Cloud? Cloud? Why did you take out your sword? Cloud? 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 Cloud! Stop! What are you making me do? And now for one of the most infamous scenes in all of gaming. Aerith. This can't be real. Do not worry. Soon the girl will become part of the planet's energy. All that is left is to go north. The promised land waits for me over the snowy fields. There I will become a new being by uniting with the planet, as will this girl. Shut up! The cycle of nature and your stupid plan don't mean a thing. Aerith is gone. Aerith will no longer talk, no longer laugh, cry, or get angry. What about us? What are we supposed to do? What is this pain? My fingers are tingling. My mouth is dry. My eyes are burning. What are you saying? Are you trying to tell me you have feelings now? Of course! What do you think I am? Stop acting as if you're sad. And there's no need to act as if you're angry either. Because, Cloud, you are. What am I? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Genova Life, I believe. Sorry, give me a sec. Yes, this is Genova Life. Alright, this battle it's not really meant to be lost. You can use the water ring here to absorb damage, but it's not really a big deal. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have, let's see, Cloud. I'm going to have him use slow on the boss. Then I'm going to have Tifa attack. I'm just pausing to try and get as much effect out of this as possible. And finally, I'm going to have Kate Sith use Quake 3 on this boss. So let's go with slow. Hopefully it hits. Yep, beautiful. Ah, he got it in first. I did not expect him to get it in first. Alright, so he casts Reflect, which means that Katyth might die here. So let's prepare a... yeah, let's prepare a thingy. Phoenix down. Did he die? Yes, he did. Alright. That's really annoying. I'll just throw a Phoenix down. I was trying to get it in first. So I think what happens is you're only allowed to cast one magic spell on him. But luckily I made it a good one. Alright, big guard. Tifa can attack. You can use regen on yourself. And then Tifa attacks and Cloud attacks. That kind of sucks. If you manage to get Quake 3 off, it'll do a lot of damage because this boss is weak to Earth element, the Earth element. So yeah. But then basically your only choice is to just attack like crazy. This boss is meant to be a way to like get your anger out for Aerith's death. And yeah, just in case there was any confusion or whatever, Aerith is dead. She is gone. She's not coming back. We cannot have her in our party anymore. Everything, like, she is completely gone as a party member. And yeah, if you're one of the few people who, you know, don't know about this moment in this game, it's probably pretty shocking to you. I can only imagine that a bunch of 10-year-old, 14-year-old, however old you were when you played this game, heck, you might have been 20 or something. I know I have some older people who are much older than me watching, so, you know, I can only imagine how crazy emotional that scene would have been for you at the time. If you had, I mean, if you were playing this at the time, you probably had a very strong emotional intelligence, so yeah, it's a pretty devastating scene. Obviously, it still has an impact even on me, like even knowing what was going to happen, it still has a huge impact. It's just obviously, you know, time kind of heals all wounds, and but it's still very affecting. I can even feel like the slight wetness in my eyes as I'm speaking about it. So yeah, but Sephiroth has killed Aerith. She's gone. And Jenova finishes Sephiroth's sentence. Because you are a puppet. I'm a puppet? Alright. Yes, that is a massive reveal, and I will talk about it very momentarily. Some car just beeped outside and ruined this entire scene. Alright, and that's the end of the scene. Alright, just before I continue with Cloud here, I'm just going to sort of mention a few things. First of all, I didn't want to talk about it too much because it is kind of like a little bit of spoilers for for like what could potentially happen in the remake, but I will say that obviously this is the original game, right? This is the original Final Fantasy VII with its original story, and now that we've passed this point of Aerith's death, the question becomes, will the developers of the remake do the same thing with the remake? Like, will Aerith die? And I think it's almost a certainty that she will die. I think it will be... I think it will be done with grace. I think it will be done with poise. I think it will be masterful. I don't think there's going to be a misstep, and I don't think you're going to be able to get her back. You might have some kind of like post-game thing where they will allow you to use her, but they might find a very clever way of going about it without like ruining what the original story was. But I think that it's funny because like obviously everyone who's played the original will have known that plot point, and then when the announcement of the remake came, I think it was probably in the back of everyone's mind, like, how are they going to do that scene? How are they going to do it? And I think they will do it justice, and I think it is going to emotionally wreck almost everyone that plays it. And it's going to be crazy. I don't want to say too much more because the remake has... there's stuff that's happened with this first part of the remake that suggests the possibility of it not happening, but I just do not see how they would be able to call it Final Fantasy VII Remake without well, okay, I can see one way, but I won't say exactly what I mean. But I think they will still do it. And I don't want to go too much into it because I don't want to spoil for people who haven't seen it, but yeah, I think that says enough. The other thing to mention there is that, so if you remember when we first met Aerith, well, not when we first met her, but so at the very beginning of the game, we buy a flower from her, and then after Airbuster, Cloud falls into the church in the slums in Sector 5, I think it is? Yeah, Sector 5, because we were in Mako Reactor 5. He talks to Aerith at that point, and one of the things that they talk about is the fact that she has a materia that is good for nothing. And that is the materia that we saw fall out of her hair just in that scene. Excuse me. I don't think anything else has been said about that just yet, and I can't quite remember if it's brought up later in the game. So I'm not going to say anything about it now, but I do want to mention it. Like, I'll do my best to try and remember to mention it when and if it comes up again. But let's just say that materia is not necessarily good for nothing. It's a very specific materia from what I understand of the game. Yeah. Alright, so we'll continue this scene and see where we finish off today. Everyone, listen to me. I'm Cloud, ex-soldier, born in Nibelheim. I came to settle up with Sephiroth. What's going on? I came here by my own free will, or so I thought. However, to tell the truth, I'm afraid of myself. There is a part of me that I don't understand. That part made me give the black materia to Sephiroth. If you hadn't stopped me, Aerith might have been... There's something inside of me, a person who is not really me. That's why I should quit this journey, before I do something terrible. But I am going. He destroyed my hometown 5 years ago, killed Aerith, and is now trying to destroy the planet. I'll never forgive Sephiroth. I must go on. I have a favor to ask of you. Will you all come with me? To save me from doing something terrible? Watch ya! We're all in this together. I don't know how Aerith tried to save the planet from the meteor, and I guess now we'll never know. But we still have a chance. We must get that black materia back before Sephiroth uses it. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of part 1, or disc 1 as it was in the original game. Save the game to this point on the system storage. Yes, we do want to do that. I don't know if this is actually required, but we'll definitely do it. Yeah, let's chuck it here again. Why not? We'll throw it. How many more do we have? Okay, not too many more, but yeah, I'll put it here. Alright, the Forgotten Capital. There you go. You can see it's called the Forgotten Capital there. Ah, the music, man. So good. Alright, so this is the beginning of disc 2, and I guess we'll get a little bit done before we move on. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about, and I'll talk about it just in a sec. Okay, so we're going to walk down here and go left. Sephiroth. I wonder which way he went. There he is. Cloud seems to be able to see some sort of vision of him. Cloud, are you alright? Sephiroth said to me, head north, past the snowfields. Alright, well then south we shall go, because yes, there is another battle at Fort Condor. Alright, well this one's good because I can talk about one final reveal that happened during that that moment, and that was that Sephiroth and Jenova finished the sentence, called Cloud a puppet. Now, as far as I'm aware, there's not enough information to go on to really understand exactly what they mean by that. The only thing I can gather, I think that takes us to 27, by the way, for 27 kills for Kate Sith to go. Oh, MP plus went up. Hang on a sec. Just want to check it. Beautiful. Alright, nice. Yeah, I don't think there's enough information just yet to really understand exactly what that means. My interpretation when they say that he's a puppet at this stage with the information that we have is that just he's being controlled in some way, in some capacity, in some form. Cloud is not a human who has control of, like, he's a human who has a control of his own mind to an extent, because obviously he's determined to go after Sephiroth, but he has some kind of like weakness or some kind of susceptibility to being controlled, and we don't know exactly how that functions and how that works, but yeah, and that's why Sephiroth was goading him and you know, saying like, what are you talking about? How can you feel sadness? How can you feel anger? You're just a puppet. You're not well, he didn't specifically say that you're not human, but like they only said you are a puppet, and so there's some form of control that's happening and that we don't really understand as of yet. And to be honest, because when I was making the template for the guide, I was trying my best to follow the story. I'm still not completely across it. I think, like I've mentioned it many times before, but I think because I'm such a gameplay heavy guy, I have to really focus and read each sentence when it comes to story and kind of put it into my own words and go, okay, so this is what this means, this is what I believe this means, and this is what I believe this means, and so on and so forth. And that's the only way I can really grasp the story. Weirdly though, no matter who I come across in life, they always seem to have the upper hand in that respect, because they're always like, yeah, but like this happened and then this happened, like, did you miss that part? And it's like, no, I just didn't notice that. So yeah, I guess it's basically, you know, different people see different things in different ways. I guess that's kind of the way to put it. So I have a much tougher time noticing story elements because I'm far more into the gameplay aspect of a game. Please? Okay, good. I got that. Maybe I should have thrown another attacker there, I'm just realizing. Okay, we got 3 elixirs this time. Beautiful. Okay, yeah, so we are on disc 2 now. Obviously, this being a digital version of the game, and the discs that the original Final Fantasy VII came on were, you know, CDs that could only hold 700 megabytes, which was a lot for back then, but obviously now we're up to, like, terabytes is pretty much the norm. Can't remember what's after terabytes. I think it's like a petabyte or an exabyte or something like that. It's I'm pretty sure it's Greek. What would it be up to? Like, giga? Wait, mega, giga, tera, 4. Yeah, 4 might be exabyte, because petabyte might be like pentabyte, like pentagon 5. So it might be exabyte. I can't remember. I'll put it on screen. Alright, so yeah, we're pretty much going to end here. What I'll do is I'll just head over here to the Sleeping Forest again. Maybe we'll do one more battle, and we'll get over to the get over to a save point and finish up for today. Oh, what an episode. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Alright, no battles. Now, where do we want to go? Okay, yep. So we're going to go over here again. You also might have noticed... no, I think that's the one you sleep in. You also might have noted... Oh, but there's no save point in here. That's fine. Are we good on health? No, let's quickly save up. Rest up. Oh, there's another thing, yeah, I should quickly mention. During practice, I had leveled up my barrier materia to the point where I had access to reflect. And I think it's the case in other... yeah, well, I'm 48 away here. I think it's the case in Final Fantasy X. If you have... Let's say you have reflect on yourself, right? So if you reflect yourself and then cast a magic spell on yourself, it will reflect onto the boss. Now, this occurs in this game, but because Genova Life also casts reflect on herself, it will reflect back onto you. I believe it's like the third time you fight Seymour in Final Fantasy X, yeah, I think it's the third time. He casts reflect on himself, and then you can cast reflect on yourself, bounce the magic off you, and hit Seymour, like actually physically or magically damage him in 10. Here, it actually bounces back and forth. I actually tried it. So I cast reflect on myself. Genova had reflect on herself, and I used Quake 3 with Kate Sith on Cloud. It bounced over to Genova, then it bounced back to Cloud, Genova, and then the game was soft locked until reflect ran out on Cloud, and then Cloud got hit, and because reflect doesn't run out on Genova Life, you can't use any magic attacks. So yeah, it was kind of crazy. Alright, so we'll leave things here and we'll head up to the northeast from this point next time. So I want to thank you all for watching episode 65 of Let's Platinum Final Fantasy VII. My name's Ultima456, you're the Ultimates. I'll see you next time.